So when I first saw the trailer for this film, I thought to myself that this looks like an interesting premise and that maybe I'll check it out. And then I saw Alex Garland was both writing and directing it, and that convinced me to give it a shot. It also helps that A24 is a studio that will never ever have a very boring release in theaters. It's always going to be guaranteed an experience to go see an A24 film in theaters. So I went to go see Civil War. So after my viewing, I feel that Civil War is a good film. It's not perfect and has some issues that I'll say without spoilers, but it's still a good film. I'll start off with the positives. The cast gives a really great performance. I feel that they had good chemistry and the performances felt grounded in reality. Kristen Dunst did a good job of portraying a war journalist who's just faded, but has her moments of mental unease when presented with situations throughout the film. And major props to the supporting cast of Wagner Moura, Kaylee Spaney, and Stephen McKinley Henderson. These three carried their weight throughout the film as well. Another aspect that I'll praise about this film would be the cinematography. Rob Hardy does a great job of giving this film a sense of reality since he's worked with Garland before on films like Ex Machina and Annihilations. With the way that the film is shot, they really do a good job of keeping it in a sense of reality, where it's not sensationalizing anything about what's going on in the film, but it's still one of those like, oh my god, look at that shot moments. And I think that it works for the film. It adds to the overall tone and tells its own story, especially during the action scenes where some of the shots taken were mesmerizing. It really helps you get into those action scenes. And the last positive I'll say about Civil War has to be the action. When it comes to those scenes, it was both effective as spectacle and horror. It's even more effective because you realize the characters are war journalists, so they are like right in the front lines, are in the same amount of danger as the soldiers, and it has you on the edge of your seat. You don't know what's going to happen because it's not like a regular war movie where you're following soldiers and you get used to the soldiers and something might happen. These are just civilians who happen to be war journalists, and war journalists in real life, they go through things in areas that could lead to them dying like this, and it gets that sense of tension, and makes it very unique to see the battle from their eyes and not really following the soldiers. We're following the soldiers through the war journalists' eyes, and that makes it better. So with all the positives in the films, what were the negatives? What were the negatives I had about Civil War? Well, I'm gonna say that it's the story itself. Now, the premise is good and it does enough on keeping the reasoning for the war vague, and it leaves it up to the imagination, but that can be the film's biggest detriment as well. See, the execution of trying to tell a story without feeling exposition-y and saying like, hey, this war started because blah blah blah. We get some hints of it with some dialogue about, Nick Swanson, aka Ron Swanson, Nick Offerman. His character is on his president is on the third term and he's been hinted as a dictatorship, and it's like you get moments like that, but nothing really says like, hey, how come the Western forces are doing this and what are the other states are like? So it's like you get crumbs of it, but it's not enough to really expand more on it. I'm not gonna say like it makes the story terrible or even the film like good, or no, not the film bad or anything. I just feel like that with the story being the way it is, being a little bit spotty at paces, it leaves Civil War feeling like it could have been more. Like it could have been a great film and not just good if you just dived a little bit deeper into what got this war started and some of the dynamics of it. Civil War was released on April 12, 2024 on a budget of $50 million. At the time of this review, it has grossed a grand total of $38.3 million at the box office. Overall, Civil War is a film that is good, but it has the tools to be great. And though they didn't execute it to its full potential, I'd say it's still a film that you should probably give a watch. I'm going to give Civil War a final grade of a B+. So let me know down in the comments below, what's your favorite A24 film, and are you going to see Civil War in theaters? Until next time, I'm Mac from Mac Reviews, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.
This is fun! Hello.